oh yes, legends. Let's analyze the situation for the price of Bitcoin. Much love to everyone. Thanks for joining today's stream. Smash up the like button if you do enjoy the content, guys. And let's dive in right away into the comment section. Say hello to everyone. Much love, guys. Thanks for joining. Let's go. Bitcoin. Pre-Fomc. FOMC, guys. Will we have a major dump, major pump, a big fat nothing burger? Let me know in the comment section. Okay, your opinion. Fed day, yes it is. Much love, guys. Thanks for joining. Let me get the comment section rolling. Just say hello to the wonderful community. Smash up the like button, guys, if you do enjoy the content, the analysis, the levels, the possible setups. Does help. Thank you so much, Andy. Your dad devil told us you would be streaming. Looking forward to it. Lifa Tifa. Yeah, my dad deviled. Not sure if he would be happy about that. Let the waves begin, Jonathan. Much love, my man. Bolakun. Hi, Andy N Legends. Sanjay. Hi, Andy. The legend is back. Is there any bullish case scenario from current price action? There is. There's obviously always a bullish case and a bearish case, even though one would have priority, one would be lower probability, but there's always both. We need to consider the levels and the possibilities and the zones for trading setups. Before I continue here with the comment section, guys, just a big disclaimer. Of course, the content is for educational purposes only and is not financial advice. The information provided is not guaranteed to be accurate or complete. Always conduct your own research before making any financial decision or any trade decisions, okay? We are just providing this content as educational and personal opinion only, okay? Myself and Deviled. Let's go right away. Continue with comment section. A trader, good day, legend. Hope you all having a great week so far. Absolutely. Much love to you, A Trader. Thanks for joining the stream. Rose, good day. Chief Legend Andy, hope you are having a great day. I am. Like a smash, says Richard. Richard, I almost said that. It's kind of Spanish, Italian. Yeah, let's go. Good morning, Doc One. How are you doing? Yo, Andy, calling from Malaysia. Cheers. Colin, much love. Deepen. Yo, Andy, calling from Malaysia. Deepen, how are you doing? Callow, Wayne, let's go. Rose, thanks for joining. Looking fresh, my G. Thank you so much. Yeah, looking okay, I guess, right? Gym, shower, out in the sun, eating healthy, and just getting ready for some scenarios. I have to say I haven't shorted the price of Bitcoin, even though I am interested in shorts. I'm willing to maybe take a short on this stream, maybe, based on multiple 1-2s. If the price does reach 66k, I think that would be quite bullish. So we really want to maintain lower highs here and break down in a kind of a multiple 1-2 scenario here. And literally, you don't want the bulls to reach 66k. So, is this bounce worth the short position for a potential major breakdown in a wave 3? Today is a very big news day, right? We do have FOMC, Fed press conference, interest rate decision. We might get some local volatility, but if we want to remain this as a bearish structure, we don't have an impulse. We don't have a motive wave. There's no clear 5-wave down. I mean, there is if you count all of the waves, but there's overlap. A diagonal is not possible. Even though if you do take this high over here, that would be kind of a sideways triangle. You can't have a triangle here in the correction of the diagonal. So getting above 66k would be a bit bullish, right? You kind of confirming that this is likely a corrective structure, even though if it goes sideways a little bit more. So the bearish case is multiple 1-2s, basically. You want this downtrend to continue, right? And just kind of break down in a wave 3, right? And get, impulsive. we've seen this before, right? Where you start off very slowly, little waves, and then you just dump, right? You lose basically the uptrend momentum with a big breakdown in a wave 3. So is this bounce worth, right, the short? Is this bounce worth a short position? I mean, if there is something finished at the high, basically with this momentum, preferably it is a WXY. It's not very clear as a motive wave. The diagonal here would be looking not very, very nice at all. You also have a diagonal on wave 1, which is rare. So, bearish case scenario really is a finished 3-wave move up in a WXY, preferably double zigzag. And now you just topped out here at this resistance and bearish momentum. You want the bears to really push down in a wave 3 in a solid move down of a few $1,000s for it to be, generating an impulse, basically, right? So I didn't short the highs, even though we did talk about this major resistance, mainly on Coinbase. Maybe some of you, I know some people are short. Some people are confident that the rollover is on the formation, but literally we just tapped the golden pocket on Coinbase. This was at 71.1, and we did get the rejection. We were very much aware of this level to get rejected on the previous stream that we did a few days ago, and we tapped above 71.1, which was the point of control here. Got to 67. What am I saying? 71. 67.1. This point of control on Coinbase, and we got rejected from there, which is take that point of control into consideration, right? If you want to get into a short rejection, tight stop loss. I missed this short position. Missed this. This is a sniper kind of trade. You literally have a few minutes to decide if you want to get into that rejection. But what is interesting about this level also, if this is going to be a corrective bounce, which it kind of looks like a corrective bounce, right? We did hit the 1236 extension from the low, right? So if we're considering that 3-wave move up, we hit the 1.236 extension, which is kind of a very, very common target, right? For a corrective move, regardless if it's an ABC or a WXY double zigzag, right? Which you can fit a zigzag here, correction, and another zigzag here. And we hit the 1236, right? From this momentum, which is 1 to 1 to 1236 is usually the common target where a corrective structure, ABC or WXY, does get rejected. And we did get that point of control on Coinbase from that mini range acting as resistance, as we can see right there, starting this little downtrend. Now, most importantly, is this downtrend a corrective structure on the formation, or is it multiple 1-2s? We don't have a solid motive wave as of yet, so it'd have to be multiple 1-2s in the case of the bearish scenario. We'll break that down. We'll break the levels. We'll break the confluence areas. I'm in no short, but I'm only in longs from lower, and I kind of want to get into the short. I don't want to miss the short. There's a tight invalidation for me. I mean, my stop loss at 66k would be enough. So I think it's important today that we do focus on the 15-minute, 5-minute time frame, because a little bit more of a bouncy structure, even though we did hit the 50% Fibonacci already, right? I mean, this would be the area of rejection if we were to form another 1-2 here. So yeah, let's see. For the moment, I'm in no short. We're kind of interested in looking for a short trade. So we'll be discussing a little bit of the analysis today. Smash up the like button if you do enjoy the content. Just want to let you know I'm only still in that Bitcoin long, and the gold long position that was actually talked about on the channel here. Nice long on gold, which is doing quite well. We are hitting some resistance on gold, which is these daily closes right there with the wick, right? Trying to reclaim the value area low of the entire range since December right? It's doing its job right there, trying to reclaim it successfully. For the moment, not rejecting. So far so good on gold. We are going to be breaking down. Let's turn the music a little bit down. I think it's a little bit too loud. Breaking down Bitcoin mainly on the 15-minute, 1-hour time frame. Talk about the levels, talk about the setups, okay, and do a pre-FOMC stream here. Quick go through the comment section. This week, local high, low for 1 week more. Hi, Andy. Short it, Andy. Short it. Good, sir. Tom Bush, much love. High volatility right now. 62k today. Supfid Dancers, Mark Dutch, much love, my man. Thanks for joining the stream. I can see Olivia here. Hey, hello, Andy and Legends. Hope you're doing well. Looking fresh, my G. Tom, thank you so much. Thanks, Mark, for joining the stream. Also, other moderators such as Rose, a trader. Let's crack on with the price of Bitcoin. Shoo! Bullish, bearish case. What is going on? What is going on? Do we get the momentum to the downside to continue? Shout out to Devil with the updates and private video updates with the scenarios, levels, and different possibilities. Shout out to Devil, getting a lot of love from the community, and Devil's been extremely active today with the local setups. Okay, if you are interested in that, you know where to find us, guys. Super easy. Go to the command center here on the Telegram. It's the first link down below, so you can get some information on how to join. Right. Is this bearish or is it bullish? I want to know the opinion, as almost every stream. What is next for Bitcoin? Rollover soon, right? Or higher low, pump soon. Let me know, guys, on the poll. It's nice to see the votes. If more people are bearish, more people are bullish, right? Are you feeling bullish, bearish? Let me know, guys, on the poll right now. Get the votes. Rollover soon, higher low, pump soon, and we can see the opinion. Long-term bullish. We always long-term bullish on Bitcoin, right? What is the Mind Pillar or something new here? Mind Pillar is the channel right now. It's what we do. We got the website as well with many tools, indicators. You got CVD, you got liquidity, you have footprint and order flow that is coming very, very soon. We got the all-time high drawdown. We got liquidity heat map. We got the economic calendar, of course, okay, to know the important news that we do have throughout the week. Got many different tools and stuff here in mindpillar.com, guys, for free. If you want to get the direct link on the website, you have it right over here. Valuable free tools for the people, okay, for the traders out there. Right. Phew. Bitcoin. What do we have? What do we have right over here? What bullish scenarios do we have for the price of Bitcoin? Do we get to much higher prices, higher lows, or are we forming a bearish downtrend very, very soon? Okay, we're going to talk about the major levels first of all. Major levels, and then we'll be talking about the Elliott wave scenarios, of course. Okay, so thanks for joining, Legends. Much love. All right. Press conference in short time. Yeah, press conference is going to be in about 3 hours and 30 minutes. I'm not sure if I'm going to extend the live stream that long. We might. Let's see. For the news, at least for the interest rate decision, and get some levels ready, guys. Okay, let's get some scenarios ready. We'll take a look at CVD as well, because what I would prefer in this zone is to form major bearish CVD divergence. That's for the bearish case scenario. If we are going to be forming lower highs consistently here, we want to see higher highs on CVD. We want to see people longing, but that is not the case. We're getting people shorting, at least here on Bybit. Local bullish CVD divergence are on the formation on Bybit. Lots of shorts entering right now throughout the last hour on Bybit, right? So yeah, a little bit concerned about this. Lower lows on the CVD locally, which is forming bullish CVD divergence. Okay, not the best, not what you want to see. Not bringing confidence in that short. If we would be forming higher highs right there, right, you got lower highs on price action from 66.1 to this lower high, and if we would have formed higher highs right there, pumping on the CVD, higher highs on CVD, it would have been epic for the short position, at least to the lows, and maybe break down, right? The fact that we don't have any bearish CVD divergence is a little bit disturbing. A little bit disturbing that we do not have those bearish CVDs. So, right. Waves, what possible structures do we have? Do we go through the bearish case scenario first of all here, looking at the 15-minute, okay, 1 hour, sorry, then we'll go to the 15-minute to analyze this structure. But most importantly, what is the most important zone at the moment is this one, right? This uptrend. Do we have something finished at the high? And there is a possibility of having something finished here at 67.2k, the high that we formed on Monday, and we start just rolling over here, right? You guys want to know the bearish case first or the bullish case? We're going to cover both of them. Get the levels ready. Okay, let me know in the comment section. We got a bit of a 59 rollover soon. Okay, 46 votes. Come on guys, get your votes in. Over 200 people watching. Get your votes in. What is next for Bitcoin? Rollover soon, 60%, higher low, pump soon, 40%. Slightly more people bearish. Let's talk about the major levels of support that we do have to the downside, which regardless of what Elliott wave scenario we do have, congratulations whoever attempted a short position throughout the last few days. You could be very well positioned in a lower high right there, or this lower high right over here at 66.9k. The main reason of this rejection was the range point of control you would arguably discuss, and the 1.236 extension for the corrective move, right? 1.236 tapped to the dollar at 67.2 from this move. So very, very nice confluence based on Fibonacci and point of control. And very good for a short position also a few days ago, as we were tapping the previous day point of control. This was basically on Tuesday. We got that major resistance previous day point of control here on Bybit, right? Major high volume node from Monday that got rejected on Tuesday, but very, very nice, right? We love previous day value levels, point of controls, and we just on Tuesday yesterday rejected from that level, giving a chance for a good entry, tight-ish stop loss, right? Don't want to have a major big stop loss all the way up here, right? That needs to provide resistance, it needs to provide a rejection, and your stop loss goes above the fake out, right? The fake break of the previous day point of control. So yeah, good short here, good short in this zone. Naturally, if we move down, I'm not interested. If I miss it, we're rolling down already. Not interested in taking the short if I didn't take them at the exact pivots, right? And now you could be in a very, very good position, taking a bit of profits and having some open, right? Just like the long position, okay, from last week, which was in this area, either the double bottom here, right? You roll over, you take out the high. It's nice to take most of the profits and leave a runner just in case the price ends up with a big bullish scenario to the upside. Now, I have taken significant profits, of course, on that long position, and I'm leaving a significant chunk open because I want to hedge against any possible shorts, right, that do take my stop loss. So I mean, this for me is I've literally done my month with this. You know, the month has been done, the month of June. So you know, for me, really, I don't really need to take any aggressive trade till July. But you know, obviously, I'm understanding the local bearish possibilities. You know, it does look interesting for a short as well. So let me know in the comment section, bearish or bullish case scenario. First of all, what's up? Market M, thanks for joining. Much love. Or even, right, people don't care about the bullish or bearish. So let's start off with the bearish one. No votes today on, no comments on bearish or bullish. Much love. Divine Hood, my man. Shout out to you guys. Go and check out Divine Hood Trading, who also does insane technical analysis almost every single day. Divine Hood Trading. Shout out to you, my man. Much love. Right, bearish option. I'm already in a pretty nice long position from lower, and I'm in no short. So, you know, where could I join a short position? Could we join one over here with this bounce? I'm not a major huge fan of getting into a lower high unless we have bearish CVD divergence, multiple 1-2s are clear. We are hitting previous day value area low as resistance today. Previous day value area low is the resistance zone that we are getting today. Yeah, where I would consider an entry short if we do kind of get another fake out double top, kind of a move up then move down, then I would consider that short just to lower risk. Let's see if we do get it. I'm going to remain patient. I would attempt another fake out above value area high. Let's see if we do get a cheeky wick. Just because we're forming local bullish CVD divergence, right? It would be nice just to wick out all of those short traders and then enter, right? So yeah, just because we got bullish CVD divergence, lower lows on CVD, higher lows on price action, it would be nice to wick that high above 65.4. If we reject from it, I would consider that short. If we pump and break out, no short trade. So let's see if that does happen. This kind of short trade, I don't need to risk too much as a stop. I don't need to risk too much. If we reject from previous day value area high, I would be happy to put stop loss at 66k. Okay, so let's see. Because this projection of this short is coming all the way down to sub 59k, right? So I don't need to risk too much. I'm in a long position, which is hedging. So if I get stopped out, I need to cover that loss with my long. But yeah, I mean, if this ends up being the end of a three-wave structure and we have multiple 1-2s, I don't really want the price to get above 66k. If we don't get the reaction at the value area low, then I will not get into the short. If we just pump up here, I will not take the short. And, you know, I don't need to risk too much here because the risk to reward is massive, right? This would be a trade that would take round about a week or so. I don't think it would come down in like 2 days. Maybe it might. Right, if it ends up being multiple 1-2s, as in the bearish case, then yeah, maybe wave 3 is going to be absolutely massive, right? Followed with the 4-5s to get down sub 59k. So I don't need to risk too much here. You know, I can risk $2,000 potentially. I'm talking about with my capital to maybe gain around about 20k or so, right? This seems like a good almost 10-to-1 risk to reward. If we are going to get down to sub 59k, I don't want to have any adding to shorts or any of that nonsense. Okay, that's not me. That's dangerous. But yeah, let's see if we do get that reaction in the bearish case scenario. I would be happy for that possibility. I just want to get those local highs being hit. get them off right there and stop out those short traders here on Bybit and then roll over. The main bearish scenario is literally the WXY, where you have W, your X, your Y. Okay, you got double zigzag, that's a zigzag here, C wave with an expanding diagonal, your correction wave X, and a zigzag in Y wave. Now when we do zoom in on the lower time frames, what I would prefer like to label this is a double 1-2, triple 1-2, that is, sorry. You got wave 1, wave 2, another wave 1 and another wave 2 and another wave 1 and another wave 2. They're just about right in size to be multiple 1-2s. Yeah, third 1-2 not longer than the second one. First one similar in size. Yeah, similar, very similar. Being similar in size is great for the multiple 1-2 scenario. Let's see if we can get that wick to the upside, and I will trigger the short. If we pump up, no short to be taken. Okay, just because, and I'm more interested in shorts naturally because I'm already heavily positioned in a long, and I couldn't manage to short this or this. So if we are going to be forming multiple 1-2s, the rejection zone is literally 50% to the 7/8 Fibonacci, which is this area between 65.2 and 65.6. A lower high here for a multiple 1-2, and then roll over right on the FOMC or interest rate decision would be ideal for the bearish case scenario. Is there any other bearish options? Is there any other bearish options here? I mean, a diagonal does not fit, a contracting diagonal. It would have fitted here nicely, but as we do go sideways, we want a zigzag on the corrections. You don't want a triangle, you don't want a sideways WXY. So this preferably is not the scenario that we're looking at, because you want a zigzag. You want that high to be taken, not go sideways and then down. So for me, it's not a valid contracting leading diagonal because of this sideways correction. You want a zigzag in the correction, or a three-wave a zigzag corrective move in a WXY, that's fine, or a simple ABC, but not a sideways correction, which is not making it great, of course, for this diagonal. I mean, wave 3 is smaller if you take it from this pivot, but if you take it from the other pivot, yeah, wave 5 is longer. So it's not a valid contracting diagonal in my opinion, based on that wave 4, which is forming a sideways correction, either a triangle or a WXY. So the only motive wave to the downside here would be a multiple 1-2, which naturally requires a lower high. In this region. Let's see if we stop out those Bybit traders. Yeah, I would be happy for this, for the entry. If it breaks out and we do not reject from that high, there's not going to be an entry for me. If it breaks up, then up we go. Okay, we are probably going to be hitting that level, as we do have bullish local CVD divergence. So I'm happy for those local highs to be taken at 65.4 based on the bullish CVDs that we do have on Bybit. So I would be expecting those highs to be hit because of the bullish CVDs. So this would be the bearish case. This would be the bearish case scenario locally. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, I don't see any other option. I would not want to label this as a wave 3 with this overlap. So we got one, we got this. We're overlapping with this pivot now, which would be your lower time frame wave 1. So no wave 3 here. Looks very, very solid. As in this being the wave 3, it's very small, very similar in size to the previous ones. We're already bouncing, overlapping with this pivot, so we want to be cautious about a corrective move. There's WXY scenarios here with all of this overlap. For me, the bears have only one chance with this local structure, and that is maintaining the lower highs here. You take out that lower high, then it's going to favor the bulls to take out 67.2. So yeah, I wouldn't be too interested in shorts if we do take out 66k, these lower highs. If we take out 66k, I'm not particularly interested in any shorts till we get above 67.2. And that's just, considering that this is very, very possibly a, corrective structure. We got a few corrective movements that could be on the formation here, and one of them would be a finished corrective move. Anyway, we've been talking about the bearish. Let's talk about the bullish scenario, but I think it would make sense to zoom out on the 1 hour time frame and analyze this local momentum to see what bullish possibilities do we have. Yeah, anyway, let's get ready. We'll go through the bullish scenario now in just a minute, but we are just about to take out those local highs. So let's see if we do get a reaction from the local highs, and we do reject previous day valley area low and also the valley area low of this kind of mini range that we formed since Monday. So we are just about to take out those highs, and let's see if we do reject from them. Local bullish CVD divergence playing out at the moment. We had bullish CVDs, lower lows on CVDs, higher lows on price action. Those highs had a good chance to be taken, and we are on the verge of taking them out. So let's see if we can maintain the bearish structure of the last couple of days and form a lower high preferably. Let's see if we do take them out to form like a local double top. Which for me would be a valid short, only if we do wick short, give a bit of room for stop loss. I would even put my stop loss at 60. I'm going to calculate my risk for a stop at 66k, but I need the reaction from these highs. If we were to break up, a next level that I would attempt, I mean, if we do break up from previous day value area low, previous day point of control is not that relevant, just because we got the price action of today like overlapping from previous day point of control. I wouldn't say it's extremely relevant. So if we were to break out from local highs without no rejection, So I want to see this, right, or a little bit higher, and then this, right? Fake reclaim of the previous day value area low, shorting zone on the rejection to see if we can continue this downtrend momentum, right? But if we break previous day value area low, because we opened today and overlapped previous day point of control, when you overlap a previous day point of control in the day, it becomes less strong, right? It doesn't become that relevant if you do open the day down here, right? Previous day point of control remains untapped, right? Just like this, what happened on Tuesday, right? You did open the day at the previous day value area low, right? On Tuesday, and because the previous day point of control was not tapped, it becomes like a naked previous day point of control, which is more relevant. But when you open the day overlapping previous day point of control, it doesn't become as relevant. So I mean, when I consider a short here, we either reject on the local double top, I can have a first attempt, and if we break up, previous day point of control has been overlapped today, so it's still a point of control. I would still take it into consideration. I mean, if we do get the entire range or since Monday, then it is a high volume node from this entire range, so we could maybe take it into consideration as the last level for a lower high. So it's either going to be double top locally or the previous range point of control since Monday. Those are going to be my only short entries right now. Either this or either this. And this is where I'm shorting. I'm shorting on the rejection, not as we pump into the level and stay above the level. It needs a rejection. Don't short as we pump, because it could break and then I just let it go, right? And shorting on the rejection on the move down is going to be the option for me here, very, very locally. And that's if we want to maintain the bearish option, which is multiple 1-2s to the downside. So let's go with the bullish case scenario, right? Because if we break up, you're going to, we should be like, well, what happened, right? What happened? Is there a case where we do have a finished corrective move here to the downside? It does look very 5 wavy, right? It does look very 5 wavy. So, in a double zigzag, you want 7 waves, right? Because it's a zigzag down correction and another zigzag down. When you count the waves, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? And for the moment, this does look very 5-y, wavy kind of structure. So it's a bit of a problem here to have something finished at the low. A bit of a problem. If we were to form a lower high and then a low, and then maybe you do have a double zigzag, it would be better as a count. Zigzag down, correction, zigzag down. So if we want to have something finished at the low here, yeah, we need to come to the conclusion that, can we fit a ABC zigzag here? It doesn't look that great. We'd have to have some kind of a 3-wave move in this movement down. And so that this would be your wave W, that this would have to be your wave X, and this is your zigzag wave Y. But very, very small zigzag W. I mean, you would be able to fit something here on the lower time frames. I'm sure there's lots of overlap. You can fit in a 3-wave move. You got a bit of a running flat situation right there. So you do have impulse down, running flat, movement down, wave X right there. and then this is your zigzag. That's if we were to have something finished in a double zigzag WXY. This is the only way, really. Not the most pretty, but we'd have to give it a valid option. That's if we suddenly start, breaking to the upside very aggressively here. So local bullish case to have something finished at the lows, which is not pretty, but it doesn't have to be pretty, right? Is a finished double zigzag. Not the greatest zigzag, very quick compared to your zigzag in wave W and wave Y, sorry. This would have to be your wave X. Another scenario that kind of looks better is forming a lower high. So forming a lower high in this territory, right, below 66k, and then getting one more push down. This would look better for the double zigzag, because I would consider this being W, which looks much better, right? More symmetrical, your sideways correction in wave X, and then zigzag down here. So this would fit better as a double zigzag. You would need one more lower high and one more low. Much more symmetrical, much better. So yeah, we are on the verge of taking the local highs. Let's see how we react to it. Do we smash out from previous day value area low? Lows of this range, basically. Or do we fake out from it? Boom, boom. Right, do we create that fake out? Only two options. Really easy, guys. You don't fake out from it, then I would be looking for point of control of the range. And that's going to be my plan here, to enter a short position. For the moment, I remain long and in no shorts. I'm in no shorts from higher, so let's see if we do want to form a lower high here at the value area low or the point of control. I would give it an option at the point of control. Either here or either here, only after taking out the local highs. So yeah, I mean, if we were to break to the upside very aggressively, so say that we pump, right, boom, we back test, or we continue pumping and we break the levels, I don't have any major shorting plan unless we do reject here and we form a lower high. Yeah, it would have to be either point of control or previous day value area low. So let's see. Let's stop out those Bybit traders. Can this fit nice as a zigzag? More like an impulse, really, or a diagonal. Yeah, not the most pretty looking one. Lots of overlap here. Overlap here. Three wave up. Three wave up. Yeah, it could be an option. This could be an option for it to be corrective if we fake out from the highs. If we maintain bullish. We got also the support, resistance flip potential. So let's see if it breaks out or if it wants to fake out. Keeping it simple, keeping it patient. That's what we do. Okay, I've got my chart on the side here. Bullish options. Okay, so high's just been taken right now. Let's see if we do get follow through or do we reject. For the moment, trading above the high, so follow through would look pretty bullish naturally. No short trade for me as of yet. If we get follow through, then higher we go. Yeah, thinking about this being something bullish, because we had overlap here. So if you want to count an impulse, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Not the prettiest. Diagonal would have to be the option, and a flat. For this to be bullish, just about. Let me just. Yeah, as long as we maintain above that high locally, not interested in the short. I'm going to treat this as a possible swing. So I'm going to not risk too much and give a bit of room for stop at 66k. Okay, for me, still kind of hovering. Yeah, still kind of hovering, not rejecting successfully. Want to get that candlestick trading beneath this low and beneath the value area low of the zone. I want to get it trading beneath. For the moment, we are staying above it. This is this value area low or previous day value area low. Also valid. Trading above it, no short as of yet. No successful rejection. Trading beneath that previous day value area low and the value area low of the zone and this high. Get a solid candle beneath it is what I need to see here to trigger the short. If not, we push higher. I'm thinking about the bullish case scenario here locally to figure out if this can be something motive very, very locally. And let me just get a channel to see if we do have a potential contracting diagonal. And we do have this high over here. Cannot have it here. A bit of a problem. Yeah, not a fan of looking at this as something that is motive. Because you got this push up. You know, do we have a solid 5-wave move here to have something bullish? I have my doubts. Because you don't have a solid wave 3. There's overlap here. If this is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, you're overlapping here, so you need to have a diagonal. However, diagonals do not fit nicely with the highs, so I think that this pump could fail. But I'm in no rush to get into the short. I need a rejection, fake reclaim from the value area low of this trading zone. So it needs to reject from this area. I need to get into the rejection. That's how I do it. So as long as price is getting above previous day value area low and low of the range, previous of this mini range, struggling to believe that this is something motive. The only way that you could have something as a contracting diagonal is from this high. However, you have a kind of a flat in this price action, so that's not great. But it would be the only valid option. This as a contracting diagonal. Just about. And you have a very, very sharp flat structure, so not the best looking contracting diagonal, and this would have to be an ABC flat where you have the move down, up, expanding flat here with this wick. This would be the only bullish option that I do see here. Not great to have this price action in this correction, so it'd have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flat. And this is for a wave 1, right, or a wave A, and this is a wave 2 or a wave B, and now you're just building up the potential breakout. Either in the wave 3 naturally would just require more price action, more pumpy action, right, in the coming hours. This has wave 1, this has wave 2. If not, this has A wave, B wave, and now the C wave just claiming the highs and rejecting. So, you know, for me, it's crucial right now to reject from that previous day value area low for the bearish option. You maintain above this level, it could be a successful reclaim as we speak, right? Yeah, needs to reject from previous day value area low. My shorting zone is here right now. Only if we do reject. If we maintain above previous day value area low, then, you know, maybe a back test, maybe continuing up. Not interested in the short. I need the price to get down below previous day value area low as a fake reclaim of yesterday's session, and then trigger the short in this territory. If not, up we go. Patience is key. Bada bing, bada bam. Let's go through the comment section. I mean, bullish case is just more upside. Bullish case would just be more upside, of course, because this could be 1, 2, and now you're building up 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and pop. And, you know, you have a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 on the development. And bearish case preferably is that this is an A, B, C, and this wave fails, right? as that could fail and get below the previous day value area low or the low of this mini range, then we will just be looking for another lower high. And, you know, hopefully the price, you know, break down if we do manage to get into that short. But this, you know, we need a plan, and my current plan would be this one. So in no short currently, but I would be happy to short if we get beneath the value area low. If not, remaining in longs and happy for the price to absolutely explode to higher levels if that is going to be the case. Let's go through the comment section. Gold is doing pretty okay. It's getting a little bit of pumpy action. Let's see if it does manage to go higher. And I'm mainly remaining long on gold and Bitcoin. I'm interested in shorting Bitcoin, but not where we at currently. Price is pumping. Looks like it's a successful reclaim of the value area low. Point of control is next. We don't have any major order blocks. It's just literally the point of control, which looks more interesting as a reaction zone. No rejection. Successful reclaim of previous day value area low, meaning that previous day point of control and even previous day value area high could be next as the target. Pushing through here. Let's see if we can tap the point of control. Okay, vamos. Let's do a little bit of comment section, shall we? We do have a daily level at 66.2. This daily level is with the golden pocket from the high to the low. This could be an interesting rejection point, 66.2. If we continue blasting through. Almost tapping previous day point of control. This 66.2k area is actually very, very interesting based on confluence. Let's take a look at the VWAP from the high here. Anchored VWAP from the highs. Anchored VWAP is being tapped here right now with the previous day point of control. It is really one of the last zones if we want to consider multiple 1-2s to get rejected here. We haven't quite tapped. Almost tapping previous day, but it's a bit of an aggressive short, if you ask me. Very, very aggressive. We haven't tapped previous day point of control by a couple of dollars. You usually want to wick it, right? You usually want to, you know, get above and then below, not front run it, right? The ideal scenario when you hit a previous day point of control is, you know, tap it, right? Try and cross it as a fake out, and that's where you trigger a short position on the rejection, right? Front runs not ideal. So I mean, this is what I would prefer to trigger a short, is actually pierce through the point of control from yesterday. Pierce through. Interesting that we got the anchored VWAP from 67.2k. Literally the highs of Monday. Anchored VWAP is coming into that point of control, so it's a little bit, it adds a little bit of confluence. And really, for the bearish case, you want a, you want a lower high in this zone. Like kind of your last option here for multiple 1-2s to the downside. Yeah, let's see if we do tap that level of resistance now in the coming minutes. And if we were to break out from that previous day point of control, the most interesting rejection point, just for a local pullback, I would be concerned that we would roll over aggressively from here. I would say it's just a pullback zone. Would be the daily level at 66.2 with the golden pocket from the highs of Monday to the local lows. Interesting confluence that we got there. Daily and golden pocket. For me, it's enough confluence to get a rejection. 66.2k, that is. You also got that lower high. This would only be a scalp because the point of control of the range could act as support, but this is clearly like an aggressive scalp short zone. Golden pocket from high to low. Daily level 66,258. It's a pity we didn't get that previous day point of control being tapped. We missed it by a few dollars. Let's go through the comment section, see what the legends are saying. Much love to you. I'm not sure if Devil is about, but Devil has been providing all of the update setups locally, analysis, private video updates inside of the community today. And whoever's interested, of course, in joining the trading community, super simple, guys. Go to the Telegram down below to the command center. You'll get all of the instructions to join the trading community. Right, mine got tapped on Coinbase. More dump soon. Yeah, I'm just like really strict on the levels, right? For me, if you don't hit a major level and you front run it, then so be it. I'm not going to FOMO short. You know, if it goes down, it doesn't matter. You know, might get in the short based on the loss of the value area low, but this should have happened here. If it doesn't matter. No pasa nada. No pasa nada. Right, let's go through comment section. Uptrend, more dumps soon, says Mamba. I mean, let's take a look at the poll, which we have 170 votes as we speak. What is next for Bitcoin? Roll over soon, 53%. It was above 60%. People are getting a little bit bullish on the pump. We do see higher low pump soon. That was 40% just about 10-15 minutes ago. So yeah, people are flipping bullish very quick here on the poll. Right. So yeah, I'm in no short. I would be more than happy if we get a blast through here because I'm only in longs. So the short trigger was not possible. It might trigger right now. I want to see that point of control level tapped. We had bullish CVD divergence on the formation just about an hour ago. So it was, there was a good chance to take out that high. Now we've taken the high. CVD does really help, considering not to, take an irresponsible short trade, right? Because maybe you're thinking, right, I'm going to short this bounce that we had today because I think we're just going to roll over. And the fact that we did have local bullish CVD divergence, we had higher lows on this local momentum to the upside, and we had lower lows on Bybit US dollar. This is the best Bybit US dollar divergence. They play out most of the times, and the fact that you got lower lows on the CVD, people shorting in this area, you have a good chance to take out 65.4, so which is what happened as we were streaming here. No rejection from value area low, so a little bit of more upside here is what's happening with those local bullish CVDs playing out, guys. Remember, you do have all of the tools here on mindpillar.com. No bearish CVDs from here as of yet. No higher highs. Binance still lower highs, lower highs. Yeah, no bearish CVD divergence. So we all good. We all good for a little bit of more upside here based on the CVD. Remember, you got this, guys, for free. Okay, CVD divergence, you got it here. Mindpillar.com, CVD fear and greed index. You got heat map, liquidation heat map. You also got it here inside of the CVD divergence, right, where you have most of the liquidity. Take advantage, guys. Some people pay for this, and you have it free here on mindpillar.com for the moment, and you have the valuable free tools. As you can see, it is the 5th link down below in the description. Valuable free tools. You got CVD, heat map, and all sorts right over here in mindpillar.com. So for the moment, no major resistance, still pumping. The only resistance that we do have here locally is this point of control of this range. I want to tap it. I want the price to tap it and reject from it. Then I would consider the short entry. For the moment, remaining in very juicy long positions. And yeah, I mean, I would just be happy if we do go to $70,000, right? And just blast off from here. Is it a possibility based on the higher time frame? There is an interesting, very bullish case that Devil did provide today, which is forming a higher low from this higher low that we did form last Sunday. Now, there's a couple of red flags, but it would be multiple 1-2s, 1-2, 1-2, and a 1-2 right there. The fact that this wave 2 is very, very shallow, but in timing, you would say, yes, it's okay. But it is valid. Not the most beautiful, structured, multiple 1-2. But, there's no invalidation for this. This would only be looking for a wave 3 breakout. Of course, losing this low, this higher low is a major issue for the bulls. Let's go through comment section. I did see that Devil was around, if I'm not mistaken. Devil, my man, move up looks corrective. Move up looks corrective. Move up looks corrective. This local move up. Local move up. Yeah, I mean, this is the overall question here. Do we get an ABC? Do we get a 1, 2, 3? Can this be a corrective move? Much love, Devil. Yes, flat not allowed in a diagonal. Yes, my man, exactly, right? This is why we're trying to figure out this on the 5-minute time frame. Not looking great. We got a bit of a flat here. So yeah, this You know, we cannot, you want to zigzag on the corrections, right? This is a valid correction. This one right over here is not a valid correction in your wave 2. So yeah, this is literally not a great count. A lot of red flags to try and find out if we do have something bullish here. I mean, it would have to be. It would have to, if we want to figure this out as a, yeah, it's not the best looking one. This is what happens when you're doing Elliott wave theory, of course, on the 5 minutes. It would have to be more like this, just because there's so much overlap in this price action. You've got overlap here. You don't have overlap here. So could this be the valid option for this to be an, you know, just an impulsive move? Doesn't look that great. Doesn't look that great. This wave 3 does really does look very 3 wavy. So doesn't look great as an impulse formation, I have to say. If this is going to be wave 1, wave 2, right? And we are on the formation of another wave 1 and 2, right? Or an ABC, kind of an ABC, or a double zigzag kind of fits better. Not the greatest structure to have a motive wave here. This would have to be the count, really. But the problem is your wave 3. Very 3 wavy. So a double zigzag might be the scenario here. Let's see if we do get that rejection. We are just about to hit that range point of control. It breaks or it rejects. So I want to see a bit of a red candle here. I'll give it a valid option. I've entered a small position here. Small position at this point of control. We tapped it right now. Thing is, because I would treat this as a potential swing, I'm not risking too much here. 1,500 if we do get to 66. Because the thing is, if this does end up being multiple 1-2s, which, you know, we have not too much room here, really. The most bearish case is 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 2. This is like your last area to form a lower high. So, you know, if you take these lower highs, the multiple 1-2s are invalidated. So the thing is about this to be a swing, you know, I'm looking at this more as a swing short, because if this were to turn out bearish in multiple 1-2s, you know, we cannot claim 66k. So super tiny stop loss, very good risk to reward potential. You know, your stop loss is ridiculously small, right? I'm kind of looking at this, right? You know, if we end up forming multiple 1-2s and lower highs here, because, you know, when I do take a look at the stop loss against the take profit, then, you know, it's insane, right? It's literally a 15 to 1 even more, 17, 18 to 1 risk to reward. And then it's giving the bears an option here, right? So yeah, I'm treating this as a potential swing if we wanted to reject here on the multiple 1-2 scenario. You know, you just need a risking peanuts here, and in my case, for an incredible risk to reward, which would be, you know, looking for sub 59k. And just this is just realizing the option, right? Realizing the options. It's realizing the options here. Because if this were to be the WXY, I don't have a solid motive wave. We would have to be building a motive wave down. And this is, I mean, this would be very, very bearish if this turns out to be multiple 1-2s. The thing about multiple 1-2s is that your breakdown wave 3, you know, is followed by multiple 4-5s. So the 4-5s would end up, you know, rolling down to 59k. That's if that is going to be this scenario here. So it's you know, tight stop loss. Very, very small stop loss compared to the risk to reward. You know, don't need to risk too much here. But we'll see. I mean, it's the only main bearish option that I would have right now. If we are going to be breaking above 66k, I think it could be looking bullish. I would only attempt a scalp short at the daily, just because you got that wick and it is the golden pocket. I would attempt maybe a scalp short there if we pump into that zone on stream. And this would be coming down. You got point of control. You're leaving resistance behind you, so you know it's likely going to flip to support. So this is actually an important level to reject for the bears. Really, understanding this structure. You know, if the bears want to do something here, you know, they really want to maintain a lower high from 66k basically, which is you know, naturally that short entry here. Now risk to reward would be insane, right? You know, risk to reward here would be absolutely epic. Let's see if we got that. It would be one of the best risk to reward trades ever. And it's just realizing that it is possible, right? I don't know if this is going to happen. What I do know is my risk management is to the T. And I don't need to risk too much on this trade. If this were to end up being multiple 1-2s, we've got resistance. A wave 3 breakdown here would be class. Followed by 4-5s to tackle down to sub 59k. Point of control rejecting. Right, let's go through the comment section. What's going on? Don't listen to Mamba. No fighting, no fighting. No position is also a position. Very true, Devil. Very true, very true. You don't need to enter if you don't like the trade. Took that short, very small position. Yeah, me too, right? Me too. I have my doubts on multiple 1-2s here. I have my doubts. It's not. It is an option. It is an option. I would rather short here where we at with a tight stop loss than rather shorting down here, right? Basically. And if we were to take out that high, you know, there is an issue here. I would seriously give priority to the bulls if we get above 66k, because let's go on another chart here so we don't get the levels. The fact that, let's check Coinbase. I'm kind of breaking it on Coinbase. On Coinbase we are getting above the point of control. Coinbase, we are above, trying to get above the point of control on Coinbase right there. But yeah, let's talk about the scenarios of if we do get above 66k. If we do get above 66k, do we have any solid bearish options for this to be a motive wave? That is the question. And I would have to say we don't really. There is a problem with this correction. There is a big problem. It's not a zigzag. It's not a double zigzag or a regular zigzag. It's more of a sideways triangle kind of formation. And that's a little bit of an issue if we want to consider any diagonal here. Because really a diagonal is, your corrections are zigzag, double zigzag, or literally forming a high, a higher low, and then another high. So that would have been valid for a diagonal here. But it's not valid anymore. Why? Because from this high to this low, your wave 5 is longer than your wave 3, and that is not possible in a diagonal. So yeah, not much longer, but it is. Not much longer, but it is. So, and if you wanted your wave 5 to be smaller, you would have to, take that lower high. But the problem is that this correction is not a zigzag. It's a sideways corrective move. It does look like more of a triangle. So if we take out these lower highs at 66k, I think the bulls will have priority. This would be more like a double zigzag correction. Getting above 66k, I think there would be priority to get above 67.2k. Yeah, we're almost on the verge of taking that high. So on the verge, we are breaking point of control. Yeah, no rejection. No successful rejection from previous day point of control of the range on Bybit. So that trade is likely on the verge of getting stopped. I mean, this is the good thing as well when you're in a significant long position. you can have, you know, more short attempts with good risk management. What I do when I hedge is if I want to attempt a short position, I collect the profits right from the stop loss. So if this stop loss is going to be $1,800, I will collect $1,800 from the long position just to cover the loss. And I mean that's the beauty as well of hedging. Yeah, around about that high. So bullish case. I would probably get into an aggressive scalp on the daily, just because we have the golden pocket right there. I'll take it as a scalp short position. Golden pocket from the highs at 67.2 to the lows is where we have a daily at 66,258. So it is a reactionary zone. I do consider this as good confluence. If you have a golden pocket with a daily, I do consider it as good confluence for a reaction. Very like aggressive scalp short. But the fact that if we get above these highs, I would not expect a rollover. I would just expect a move down, just a rejection, a pullback basically. I would think that the range is going to continue and that the bulls have priority to take out 67.2k. And that's because I can't figure out that we have a motive wave to the downside here. You know, there's a big issue here with having this movement to the downside as something motive if it's not multiple 1-2s. This is not multiple 1-2s, and this would be a cheeky wave 2 right there, almost hitting the high. If we were to roll over from here, it would be it would be a cheeky 1-2. I mean, this is why your stop loss needs to be where it needs to be here, above the high. You know, there's still a chance for this to be a lower high. It would be very cheeky, but I've seen it before. But taking that high would just prioritize that this movement down is likely corrective, because I don't have a motive wave to the downside in a 5-wave move. Either an impulse, right? Either a diagonal. Diagonal is a problem here because there's a sideways correction, which is not allowed. You need to have a zigzag inside of a diagonal on the corrections, and there's no zigzag here. If I take this zigzag, wave 5 is longer than wave 3, and if I take it from this high, it is true that wave 3 is longer than wave 5, but this cannot be a wave 4 in a diagonal because it's sideways. It's not a zigzag. So there's too much overlap. So there's no impulse. There's no extended wave 1. There's no extended wave 3 with your corrections, right, that do not overlap from wave 1 and wave 4. And in this case, there's too much overlap. So the only bearish scenario here is on the verge of getting invalidated. And if you do take out $66,000, this movement has priority of being corrective, meaning that the priority is to take out at some point 67.2k, which means that shorts, for me at least, as a swing to take out 59k will not look attractive until we get above this high as a swing short. Yeah, the daily level and the golden pocket, just because it's good confluence, it is a very valid a scalp short for a movement of $500. This is only a scalp. It is a rejection confluence zone, but I wouldn't consider it as a swing to go down to sub 59k, because I understand that this structure is likely corrective, and that at some point we would be looking to take out 67.2k, right? So yeah, this would be the scenario. Right, let's go through the comment section. Remember, guys, if you are interested in getting into the trading community where we talk about the setups, the possible trade ideas that we do have, the technical analysis, you can find us down below, guys. It's the first link, okay? Attempting a short right now on the stream as the multiple 1-2 only option for this downtrend that we got to be bearish. But overall, I'm in a heavier long, of course, from 61.7k. That's something that we did discuss last week, right? Based on that range, which is in very, very good profits. I already took 37k here in dollars in profit, and leaving a significant chunk for the bullish case. And because I'm interested in shorting as well, having a long position from the low 60k levels is going to be brilliant to get into a good short position. It gives you more confidence, right? It kind of pays your stop losses. So hedging right now, I'm relatively still bearish, higher time frame, and I do think that we will likely be heading sub 59k in the near future. And having a hedge long position from this area, this higher low, is brilliant. In very in a bear market, and realizing that sub 59k is very much possible. Having that massive hedge long position against any shorts that you take is a gift, right? It's just really, really good, because I do think that sub 59k is something that we would see in the next coming weeks, right? At some point. And we need to figure out what options do we have to take that short. And my only option right now, as I did not short here, understanding this structure, my only opportunity to get in, if this were to be something motive on the formation, is multiple 1-2s. And if you take that high, I'm not interested in being in a short or adding to the short till we get above 67.2k. A little scalp short at the daily at 66.2, and the golden pocket, that's okay, that's only a scalp. But for swing shorts, I do realize that taking out 67.2k is just high probability. Once we take out 66, we're just about to take it out. Let's go through the comment section. Yes, I have birds. Yes, sir. I do. Cool and easy, that's how to trade. Cool and easy, that's how to trade. Rick Ty, absolutely. Stopped out, just on the verge of getting stopped out on that short. Yes. On the verge of getting stopped out. 1,700, 1,800. So I need to cover a bit of that trade. I mean, well, I can take the 1,800 hit. Yeah, it is pumping strongly, so no short for me at the moment. Got stopped out. That was treated kind of as a, giving the bears an option here for multiple 1-2s, because I mean, I know a lot of people want quick profits, right, and quick scalps, but I did seriously treat this as a swing. as, you know, giving the option of multiple 1-2s, you know, extremely tight stop loss compared to the risk reward. This is why, you know, you can risk here, in my case, you know, not even 1%, you know, 0.5 or 0.3% of the count, just because, you know, if it's a 15-to-1 risk reward or 17-to-1 risk reward, you know, you realize that you don't need to risk that much. You know, if it ends up rolling over, it's always popping up here quite a bit. This is why stop losses are important, right? You don't want to be caught underwater, right? You don't want to be caught underwater. Nice pumpy action. As if we are hitting the daily. Oof, we're crossing the daily level. And daily level getting smashed for the moment. This is pumping with a bit of volume, so I am concerned of this. Currently trading above the daily. Quick rejection from the daily. Not sure if it wants to get a bigger pullback from here. A little bit wicky. It's kind of valid. This is a scalp. It would be a valid scalp. Golden pocket. Golden pocket from the high to the low and the daily. If you reclaim that daily now, not going to be looking good. I would treat this only as a scalp. You know, you make a 2-to-1 risk reward, protect, get in, get out. But we did end up rejecting for that sniper trade. These are sniper trades, okay? You're above the daily, no trade. You get below the daily, stop loss. It's currently making a 1-to-1, okay? So yeah, just a quick entry scalp short here. I think, you know, we do have the point of control as support. VWAP, I would really just treat this as a scalp and would be defensive if anybody did enter that short. Stop loss at break even or close to break even. Only making a 1-to-1 risk to reward depending on your entry right now. But daily did end up rejecting. So I know some people, based on these trades, some people want to try and catch, right, the ultimate high. But how you do this properly is purely you get into the rejection when you get below the daily, right? Because sometimes you are going to get the top of the wick, right? Just like this point of control that we did have from Monday, the previous day point of control. I know some people would attempt shorts already when you're breaking that point of control, but sometimes you end up just breaking the level, right? Sometimes you end up breaking the level, and the problem about this is that I need the fake out so I can put my stop loss above the fake out when you reject from it, right? And when you get into the short, as you're breaking that level, you know, where is your stop loss? That's my concern. Are you just giving it a bit of room out of speculation? or are you or you have no stop loss, right? And I will not get into a trade if I don't have a stop loss, if I don't have some sort of an invalidation, such as a fake out, such as, you know, multiple 1-2s in this case, which I just got stopped out at 66k. And I just re-entered now this daily rejection. But yeah, this daily rejection, you know, I don't catch the high. The high is not. Oh, congratulations, by the way, the ones who joined the War of Wales. We did win. So, you know, I'm not catching the Pico top. I'm getting into the rejection. I'm treating this as a scalp protecting position. I know we could back test it, and it's a relatively small position, but the thing is, I cannot short when we are above the daily. So, you know, my short is when we are rejecting from the daily, so I can have a stop loss above the high. And then when we pull back down, I may, you know, if your trades are 1.5, you know, what 2-to-1 risk reward, you can't turn that into a losing trade if it's a reaction trade scalp. But I cannot get into the short, right, on the wick as we're getting above the daily level, right? I cannot get into that trade because the rejection of the daily is where I enter. I enter as we're rejecting the fake out of the daily, so I can have a stop loss and manage risk well on the fake out, right? The fake out is my stop loss. And I mean, just a little tip right there, because, you know, I did see some people like to try and catch a rejection or an SFB right at the highs, and I do see that sometimes. You know, the problem is that you're going to have an emotional issue with where to put your stop loss, because I've tried it before. I've been there before, and the rules are the rules. From good trading setups and good risk management, the rules are the rules. You need to reject from the level to consider an entry. If you don't reject and you want to be the smart guy of the room, right, and you try and short to try and catch the highest level, the problem is if you break it, you don't have a stop loss, because your rejection is the stop loss, right? So if you don't reject, you don't have a stop loss. And you know, I've been there before. I've been trying to get in the past many years ago, trying to be in front of the mark, right, ahead of the market on the rejection. And sometimes it turns out okay. But when it did not turn out okay, the problem is I didn't have a stop loss. And I think, well, it's going to reject now. And if it doesn't reject, you get caught underwater. And then you're like, will it reject now? Should I maintain it? And then you start with all of these emotions. You need to be very, very mechanical, right, on the execution of these setups. And the strategy is you need to reject from the level after the fake out, because the fake out is your stop loss. If you don't fake out, you don't have a stop loss. And that's where people, I'm underwater, I got liquidated, and all of that, you know, famous stories from, 90% of the traders. Well, because you're not following the rules, you're not following the risk management. Right? So anyway, just a quick rejection from this level. We do have point of control. If this ends up breaking below the point of control of this range, then happy days. We might be forming some longer corrective rangey structure. But anyway, if you wanted to, I mean, the best execution, this is a short that I'm not even going to take profits, because it's just a good entry on the rejection of the daily, and just in case the price wants to lose the point of control and lose the value area low of this range, then probably looking at something more bearish. But I wouldn't be counting on it. But let's see. Anyway, let's go through the comment section. Anybody that treated this as a scalp, then that is okay. very quick 2-to-1 risk reward. Can you enter with a trailing stop loss order to catch an SFB? Well, you can't really, because enter the SFB with a trailing stop loss. The problem is, with a limit order or a trailing stop loss, you need to get the rejection, right? You need that rejection. So, it has to be a market execution. This is a Pico top short. Yeah, I wouldn't be too confident about that. The main thing now, the main problem about, shorts regardless are looking attractive. The main problem right now for the bears is that we don't have, this does not look bearish. This move to the downside does not look bearish. If we want to have something bearish, it needs to be a 5-wave move down. And as explained, that there is a big issue here with this being a contracting diagonal based on the correction of your wave 4. But it's, still, if we are hitting resistance, if you hit a daily level and you are hitting the golden pocket, it's always worth, if you have a very, very solid, good entry, it's always worth it to enter the trade and, collect 50% or 60% profit, right? At local levels of support, such as the range point of control. And it's very easy to be defensive on these kind of trades, but it's worth leaving a short open, especially if you're not in a short. Because, these are only probabilities that this is likely something corrective on the formation. Which could extend, but there's only probabilities, right? We talk about scenarios, and sometimes I am wrong on the scenarios. Right. Let's go through the comment section. Who entered that daily rejection? Golden pocket from the highs to the lows. 2-to-1 risk reward. It's okay. Literally covered my stop loss already from the other short trade. Got in my short 66.2. Stop loss break even. Absolutely awesome. I'm 66.4. You one of the top catchers. You are one of those guys that look to catch the Pico top. 66.4. It didn't even reach it on Bybit. How good have you got in at 66.4? What's going on? Maybe on another exchange, but on Bybit we didn't even reach 66.4. Anyway, you guys, you trade as you wish, of course. I just explain how I trade these scenarios. The problem is the stop loss. Let me know, you that entered at 66.4. Open conversation here. Where do you put your stop loss? If you entered at I'm in from 66.4. Maybe you're considering it as a swing, and that you think that a lower high on the higher time frame. If you entered at 66.4, which did not hit on Coinbase or Bybit, maybe on Bluffin or other exchanges, but maybe you're putting a stop loss here, and maybe you're taking the chance for this, right? If that's in your strategy. If you did get in at 66.4, but based on a good trade execution with good risk management, you do need the fake out of the daily in this case. and the golden pocket to enter, unless you're putting a stop loss, I don't know, further away, because the fake out is the stop loss, right? Just saying. Maybe you had another strategy. Maybe you're putting stop loss at 67.2k plus. Stop loss 66.6. Interesting. So maybe just giving it a bit of room, right? Maybe just giving it a bit of room for that. Anyway, let's go through the comment section and see what's going on. Let me just get a drink here. And we'll be back in a second. Bueno. Iced coffee. Guys, remember that if we're not on YouTube, we are inside of the trading community. Devil today with the levels and setups, local intraday entries. I try to look for the major swings as well. And I'm concerned about this to be a successful swing short. Very much giving priority at the moment with the information that we have of this movement to the downside for the bulls. Bears wanted to maintain the bearish market structure, not change to bullish market structure here. And the bears, in my opinion, have a little bit of a problem. So if you are interested in more information, of course, after YouTube, from myself and Devil has been active today in the trading community. You know where to find us, guys. It is the first link down below, the Telegram, the trading community. You got the command center, you get all of the information, but you literally, if you sign up throughout one of the affiliate links down below, bluffing, weeks, 2bit, you got them right there. You will be getting free access inside of the trading community when you do that minimum deposit, guys, for your own trading. Can you do gold? What is gold doing? Nasdaq is not doing much. Pretty rangy for the last few hours. Gold is pretty stuck here at this major level of resistance where we got the bunch of daily candle opens and closes. It's been trading there for the last 2 days. So very stuck at this level of resistance. Daily candle closes that we had here in March at this 4,300 to 4,400 range. Beautiful SFB from that point of control. That is also a long trade that I am in on gold. Very happy about this bounce. Just a nice 5-6% bounce, which is awesome. Easy to manage, easy to execute. We talked about this on stream, by the way, last week. Easy trade to manage risk and make a 3-to-1 risk reward. This was the main first resistance zone, which is the value area low basically of this territory. We're trying to reclaim it. Very easy technical long, and it's mainly easy based on the risk management. It's only easy because you don't want that point of control of this reaccumulation to be broken. And I wouldn't consider that this is a successful reclaim as of yet. You want to kind of push up here and correct down and test the value area low as support. But just because we got above it right now on gold, I think gold does have a chance of a bigger recovery in the coming weeks, unless we fall down from this value area low naturally, right, and test the lows again. Let's go through the comment section, see what the peeps are saying here. Gold is pumping. Yeah, very, very locally. I mean, this was the daily time frame. So maybe on the 5 minute, yeah, we are maybe pumping for today. Very rangy, very, pennant looking structure on gold that's looking to break out and take out the highs, as we can see. Looks like it wants to take out these highs for today. Right. Let me know any questions. Let's do a Q&A. We do have the interest rate decision in 1 hour and 12 minutes from now, guys. This is going to be interesting because there's going to be some volatility, no doubt, with FOMC economic projection, and then we have the Fed press conference at 8:30. I will very unlikely be live by then. We'll see. But I would be live just to see the volatility. Let's see how the volatility kicks in just on the interest rate decision and FOMC economic projections, which is in 1 hour and 12 minutes from now. So we'll extend the live stream and we'll do a little bit of a Q&A session. We can break down a little bit of the local information that we do have here on Bitcoin. But very, very good short execution, right? People that want to get into the Pico top, that daily level and the golden pocket was a very good option. I would suggest this as a scalp. Protect position, lower your risk, and collect a bit of profits. Will this end up nuking down on the news, right, in the next coming hours? Well, we're gonna have to see. It might just correct, rate, pump. We don't know how the news is gonna affect the markets, right? So let's do a bit of comment section. Roll over soon, 56%. We got over 293 votes. Roll over soon. People think that we're going to roll over soon. 56%. Higher low, pump soon, 44%. For the moment, price has been pumping since we created the poll. Thanks, Andy. Any scalp short target? Well, yeah, this is the thing, right? We are going to be coming down to this point of control of the range, previous day point of control, which could act as support. We could be seeing support here. So this has to be a TP1 area at this 65.7, 65.8K zone. It's also the previous day point of control. It could flip as support, which you're literally just coming down into right now. That's where the volume starts, right? Point of control is slightly lower, but you do have the volume starting already at 65.8, right? The big volume already. Point of control is slightly lower, but you got big volume already at 65.8, which has just been tapped. So generally, this would be a TP1 zone already in this scalp. I mean, I know it's only a scalp, but it is what it is, right? You can maintain some open just in case you break the point of control, and we do actually start rolling over very aggressively. Not a zone that I would be interested in longing, to be honest. Local move up. We can figure out any larger corrective structures. We can come to the conclusion of some other corrective moves that we could be developing here throughout the next coming hours and days. This would be, I mean, it is a short that I'm going to maintain open. I'm not going to close it just because the execution is great. It is okay to scratch some profits here, but this could really turn into a larger correction without a doubt, and you end up rolling down, right? We can figure out some scenarios right now with this price action. Okay, we'll get some stuff ready, because a motive wave here is not possible as explained. But what is possible, instead of having a double zigzag, which we did explain, throughout the beginning of the stream as an option, we talked about the possibility of finishing a WXY. It does not look pretty. You need to, kind of squeeze in some kind of a 3-wave move here, wave X, and then this 3-wave. Really not symmetrical at all. But with this kind of price action, you could have a triangle, and then you end up forming something much longer in a corrective structure. So we can break that down right away as we do go through the comment section. Let's do a little bit of a Q&A session here with the with the legends. Much love, guys. 25 million liquidated, 65.1. Yeah, we did sweep up some liquidity to the upside. We're gonna get a little squeeze up here. This is requiring login now. Let me just get something ready. Going less. I'll go through the comment section right away, guys. See what's going on. Let me just get this ready. Bada boom. Not an insane amount of liquidity that has been claimed. Not that there's massive liquidity to the upside. Significant liquidity down at the 63k zone. There is a lot of liquidity down there. So yeah, let's just go through the comment section, see what's going on. Had to walk the dog for a minute. What did I miss? You just missed the rejection from the daily level. Rose, not much. Rejection from daily level. And the golden pocket from the high to the low, which was valid for a sniper trade on the rejection. So currently in the short. I know some people in the comment section are in that short also. And I think we need to break down what are the Elliott wave scenario possibilities, right? Because you might think, well, if the bearish case scenario of this being corrective, right? This being not a motive wave, you can't fit a diagonal here because of your wave 4 being sideways. Is there any options to extend a larger corrective move? And yeah, unfortunately, this is, there is that possibility, of course. You can fit in a running triangle here. A, B, C, D, E. I mean, this could be wave A. This could be wave B in a running triangle, A, B, C, D, E, and that could be wave C. All of this could be a B, C. Ultimately, the problem is, despite the correction extending, if it were to extend and get to sub 64.5k, you're still looking to take out that high, unless you form, a diagonal, of course, which would take a few days. The only motive wave down that you can form after having a confirmed 3-wave corrective structure, the only bearish option is forming a diagonal with the 3-wave structure. So this is the thing when we analyze elliott wave theory and you're like, oh, this is a confirmed 3-wave structure, then the priority is to take out the high, but there's always a potential bearish option even though you have a 3-wave structure to the downside, and that would be forming a larger contracting diagonal, and this is only a wave 1, and you still form a lower high here in a wave 2, and you take out the lows, right, and you just form a contracting diagonal. So this is a lot of newbies in elliott wave theory, of course. I would give priority to take out 67.2k. However, I understand that a contracting diagonal formation for the next coming days on the higher time frame, of course, would be possible as the bearish option. This naturally finishes in a 5-wave move. You do get the bounce as a correction, and then you move down in that wave 3. So this would be the only bearish option. Form some kind of a preferably contracting diagonal. Expanding diagonal is also an option, but it is very rare to see. But there would be still a bearish option naturally, but this would be the only one. The other bullish scenarios is just extending a larger WXY corrective move, and let's break down. Yeah, we'll break down now the other options. Right, running triangle looks more like a jogging rhombus to me. Have stop loss, of course, anything is possible. Mamba, good job. I gave up trading, just buying spot BTC, Zcash, and Fartcoin. Unknown user. Trading is not for everybody, of course, right? You need to be very, very strict with your execution, with your risk management. Some people, do get emotional and don't have proper stop losses and risk management, and they just when people tend to fail and quit trading is because you need to study very well what you've done wrong, right? And I mean, it does take a couple of years easily to find your strategy, find your good risk management, find your control over your emotions. It does take a few years. But when I studied my first couple of years of trading, what I mainly studied is why was I failing? Why am I losing? Where am I going wrong? And most of the times it's because I had ridiculous stop loss. I was adding to positions, taking not high probability setups, high probability rejection points. And that's where when I got stopped out on the stream here, I got stopped out. I got entered a short trade as a lower high potential, like giving you only a chance for the multiple 1-2 scenario. I said if we take out 66k, I'm not going to enter a short until we get to the daily. And if we reject from the daily, I will enter the short, which is the current short that I'm in at the moment here on the stream, right? This short is already covering the stop loss from the previous trade, and it's been planned, right? I don't care about managing risk and getting stopped out on this trade. I know there's a good level of rejection here, and only if we do reject, I will execute the trade. And because I have time now on the stream, right? That's the trade that was taken, and it's done pretty good. It's already done a 2-to-1. So the fact that before, many years ago, it's been almost 10 years now, trading. Many years ago, I probably would have not had a stop loss, or a faraway stop loss, and I would add to the position, just really irresponsible kind of trading with no plan and no good risk management. So anyway, you gave up on trading, unknown user. And a lot of people do end up giving up. It is very common. It's what it does happen to a lot of people. They just see the how hard it is, right? You just in the morning you need to create your plans, levels, and just trade them. Hi Andy, what about forming bigger WXY? Where is the current ABC? Where the current ABC is a W or A, and we are forming now wave X or wave B. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is what we're going to cover right now, because there is a chance of this movement down to be an ABC. I need you guys to do one thing before we cover the other scenarios that we would be looking for in this range. Can this range extend? Okay, bearish option is simple. The only bearish option is simple. It's a 3-wave down. Of course, this is a running triangle. And at some point, of course, this could be a very quick, sharp zigzag. But naturally, at some point, you would see a 3-wave down, correction up, 3-wave down, and form a contracting diagonal. Okay, that's the only main bearish option that we have left here, which is possible. Hence, there's the opportunities of getting into rejection at resistance is very nice. But then you have the sideways or double zigzag WXY scenario here, which is very much an option. If you have a 3-wave move to the downside in a ABC, you always need to have different options for a larger WXY. If you have a zigzag ABC, you could form a zigzag up to form an ABC flat. You could form a 3-wave down. Wave X can be whatever it wants, and then your wave Y. Let's imagine that this is your wave X, that's your wave W. Wave Y can be a triangle, pop to the upside. It can be a flat. It can be a zigzag down, preferably not getting above the golden pocket, not hitting the 0.7 Fibonacci. If you did hit 0.7 Fibonacci, the probabilities are lower for a double zigzag, and it would be higher probability for a sideways correction, which would be ending Y in a triangle or a flat to then go higher. So yeah, we can break this down a little bit more carefully without too much drawing on the chart, but that literally would be it. You would need more information, of course. A flat could be interesting, but the flat, you really, the B waves or X waves are really not the kind of waves that you want to trade. So if this turns out into a W, right, this is zigzag W, you're forming wave X now, and then you get the zigzag down. This is where longs look interesting. Finishing the pattern. Wave X, you want to forget about wave X. This could be whatever it wants. It could be a triangle, it could be a zigzag, unless you have a level to trade in, right, which we did have today, rejection of the daily and the golden pocket. That's all good and nice. But speculating that you are going to form a wave X or some kind of, wave X can be any corrective structures. Okay, so when we consider Elliott wave theory, preferably you do finish, you got a 3-wave down, you're forming wave X right now, or wave X is in, could be a very quick zigzag, and then you have the zigzag down here. If we were to move down here between today and tomorrow as so, I would be very, very interested in longing this, because I understand that this could be a WXY double zigzag. And when I add the confluence to the chart, then I pull a volume profile, and I do know that the point of control of this range with the value area high would fit perfect here for the target zone of the double zigzag, which would be the 1-to-1, right, extension 1236 at the reaction at the point of control. So that kind of fits nicely for the local bounce. So that's where I would be looking for the new setup. But we need to finish a double WXY double zigzag. I need to have that zigzag to consider the long here at this major confluence long. I mean, this is a good support level regardless if you form a double zigzag or not. Anchored VWAP from 59k is climbing up to that point of control, which will be there in the next couple of days. So yeah, anchored VWAP from 59k with the point of control, with the double zigzag potential. Everything aligns up, right? You got your Elliott wave scenario, you got good confluence. This is primed for a bounce. So this is a very, very interesting long zone at 63.5k. If we do end up hitting the 0.7 Fibonacci from this potential zigzag, which is currently just a couple of $100 above us. Yeah, not much. We missed it by a hair. Hitting the 0.7 Fibonacci of an ABC, lowers the probability to form a zigzag down. It's not an invalidation. It's just less common if you do get your wave X forming a very large pullback above the 0.7 Fibonacci, and it's more common to get a sideways corrective structure. So the only main options would be either a flat, right, which is a zigzag down, zigzag up, and 5-wave down. That's your wave X. That's W. This would be Y. So if this does develop as so, this area is going to be very interesting to detect the 5th wave, local levels of support. Might be value area low of the zone. Reclaim. This is a zone that you would, got value area low. You got your WXY sideways correction finishing in an ABC flat. This would be interesting in the coming days to see, this is actually very, very nice long opportunity. But you need to finish the pattern, right? So I got a plan for a zigzag down at 63.5 with the confluence. I got a plan for a long there. I got a plan if we form a flat in the next 1 to 2 days. I'll look for the levels of confluence of support. Look for the flat here. And the other option would be the triangle in wave Y, which would be as so. You need to have your 5 pivots. It could be a very wide triangle. It could be a very small triangle. We just don't know. We're going to have to follow up here. But if you get above 0.7 Fibonacci, flat or triangle would be the main options in a sideways WXY. So we just need to remain patient to see which one is going to develop. And naturally the triangle, your E wave and your stop loss beneath the last higher low is the setup to take out the highs. So there's a lot of options, as you can see, but there will be one that is given. One will be given to us. Which one? Let's wait and see. Will it be the sideways WXY, finishing in a triangle? Will it finish in a flat? Will it be the double zigzag down to 63.5k? That's the long in zone. And you just literally follow up, understanding which options do you have. One of the options will come to fruition. Which one will happen is the one that will be traded. Isn't the X too thin compared to W? Masnek? Absolutely. It is really, right? If this were to end up wave X here, it is very, very thin in time, right? It is very, very quick when we get Fibonacci time. However, I kind of allow wave X's to be either very small very short in time or very long in time. If wave X's can be very tricky, very, very tricky, based on time, based on what it's going to form. Wave X can be any corrective structure. It can be a triangle, it can be a double zigzag WXY, it can be a regular zigzag ABC. It can be many different corrections. So they can be quick in time, they can be slow, they can be 3 times longer than your wave W, they can be just a third of timing of wave W. So they're just very, very cheeky. Wave X's are very, very cheeky because you don't know where they're going to come from, right? What are you going to do? Yeah, it's just that's the thing. But in edit wave theory, you don't consider trading a wave X. I mean, in this case, there was a trade here, but based on confluence, not based on edit wave theory. It was based on the daily level, right? Daily level and golden pocket. Just keeping it simple in Fibonacci terms. We perfectly hit the golden pocket from the highs at 67.2 to the lows at 64.5. Golden pocket is it's the top G Fibonacci, right? So don't mess with the golden pocket. It's just a very, very good respected retracement. And if you have a daily level also at that golden pocket, then it's kind of a must. It's kind of a must enter short. So this is why short is there. Nice short execution. Good entry. I've protected position already, even though I'm considering not protecting just because it might just back test the level. And yeah, I really want to be positioned in a short because I'm in a good long position, right? I don't want the price to roll over, get close to my long position, right? And really interested in positioning myself in short because I'm already heavily positioned in long. So I really want to maintain. Sometimes it does happen where you do get a move up, you kind of back test the daily, right, and then you move down. It does happen sometimes. So considering not protecting position here because stop loss is very, very tiny anyway. Alt season, that's so cute. Alt season. Well, hype is in an alt season, right? We got hype going absolutely ballistic, already hitting all-time high again. Hype is doing very well. Yeah, hype is. Asta? Oh man. Interesting. Asta. Asta, that rings a bell. This one's pumping today. Isn't Asta a DEX? Decentralized exchange token, maybe? Asta? It rings a bell. Asta, isn't it the Binance DEX or something like that? Asta. It reminds me of something like that. Asta DEX, yeah, it is a DEX on Binance, yeah. Yeah, I remember there was a lot of hype on these, on DEXs a few months ago. But not particularly interested in this. I mean, come on. No way I can trade this. I cannot trade this. What the heck is going on here? This is, yeah. Bitcoin for trading. Bitcoin for president. I hear Luna Classic is coming back, says user. Kashifali, what do you think about Aptos and price action? I'm going to avoid looking at altcoins because when I look at altcoins, people don't want me to look at altcoins. People want me to look at Bitcoin mainly. When I switch to altcoins, people are like, oh man, 90-80% of the people do not like altcoins at this stage. So it's trade Bitcoin. Sui chart looks very ready. What do you think about Aptos? I don't have an opinion on Aptos, me personally. Hey Andy, I'm quite new to trading. When you check for shorts or long patterns, which time frame do you trust the most? And if you can give some tips. Wow. Astron. For the trade execution, I consider the 5-15 minute time frame. Just like here, right? Daily reaction. You know, it's all understanding the context as well. Understanding the context and, you know, what direction are we in, right? Are we uptrending? Are we downtrending? Many things to take into consideration. I like to zoom out a little bit, usually on the 1 hour time frame, and understand the local structure. What do we have on the local structure? And then on the 15-minute time frame, what's the very local structure of the last couple of days, to try and figure out what formation do we have with the local levels, right? So that's what I do. Zoom out a little bit to understand the general context of the last few weeks. Higher time frame I check like once a week because nothing has changed on the higher time frame. We do have wave 4 potential still valid, which needs to reject, by the way, in this territory. Not hitting the golden pocket if we are considering that we do have an extended, we do have a wave 3, sorry. We have multiple 1-2s, wave 3, and then 4-5s that should be formed in the next coming weeks. This is the rejection point on the higher time frame. Then the problem is as well on the higher time frame, we do have the possibility of an extended 5th being finished, which would bring in just a larger correction. So yeah, it's a little bit tricky on the higher time frame, and that's why sometimes if the higher time frame gives you a few options, you need to zoom in on the 1 hourly. What options do we have with this momentum, and what options do we have with this local momentum to the downside? Paz Maria Vallejos. Planning is a game changer. It is. Only 15 likes? You gotta be joking. 15 likes? Come on, legends. Only 15. 185 likes. Let's get above 200. Once we get above 200, then I'm back. And I'll go more through the comment section. We do have 37 minutes till we get to the interest rate decision. And FOMC, economic projections, we still have 37 minutes for that. So we are chilling. I'm happy to give some little tutorials, guys, based on whatever Elliott wave theory levels, how to look for them. Any questions at all, guys? We're going to be open now for questions for easily 10-15 minutes. Let's try and forget the altcoins if possible. If possible, let's try and forget the altcoins, and we'll go through the comment section once we get above 200 likes. Let's go through comment section right away. Thought about Zcash. I think privacy coins are great. I do personally have something. Be careful with these privacy coins. We do know that governments don't like these privacy coins, so you want to keep it a secret. Shh, don't tell anybody. But yeah, I think privacy coins, Zcash, Monero, they do have I think they do have a future. XMR, Monero. Oh, Zcash actually got above Monero. Monero used to be number one for many years. I think Zcash and Monero do have a future. Based on the best privacy coins that they're out there. I mean, I'm not sure if the other privacy coins will be legit, but I know Zcash and Monero are pretty legit, regardless of what the price does. But I think they do have a bright future ahead of them, despite any bear markets. Z-Trash. Andy, está bronceado, gran abrazo. Sí, empieza a pegar el sol ya, ¿eh? El sol empieza a pegar ya. Exciting times as always, Rose. Much love, legends. Path Maria. Monero. Yeah, Monero I would class as number one, really. Zcash has gained in popularity the last couple of years, but I think Monero has a pretty much more solid. There's lots of great videos about Monero XMR. And the technology that it uses to basically hide the transactions and everything. I'm not sure if it's very, very cool to be talking about this on YouTube, but there's lots of great videos and explanations on Monero, and it's pretty interesting in a very controlled world that we live in, right? No financial advice. Do your research. It's just an opinion. Mimblewimble coin for the win. Andy, brother, please tell me your strategy stops before enter to any trade. Strategy steps before entering any trade. Aditya, much love. Well, I mean, it depends on what you're trading. For trading, I mean, Elliott wave theory gives good directional bias. Okay. So I know that there is, based on the information that we have here for the moment, is that we do not have a motive wave to the downside. Motive wave means that it's leading a potential more downside projection in the coming days and weeks. And Elliott wave theory helps you to understand that right now, because of this movement down and this local move up, getting above the last lower high, and this cannot be counted as a motive wave, either in a diagonal or a regular impulse, right? There's lots of overlap. It's not possible. With that understanding, I know that this is likely forming a corrective structure, regardless if it's going to be longer or not. This has a possibility of being finished here, and that taking out the local highs for the moment has priority. Things can change, of course. And the only way things could change is that we do form a diagonal in the next coming, days, right? Larger diagonal, because a leading diagonal can be formed by 3, 3, 3, 3, right? 5 waves, but locally every wave is formed by 3-wave structure. So this is the only main bearish scenario that we have left. Is it impossible? No. But this is why, getting into rejections at these specific levels, daily level, golden pocket, I mean, it's worth a chance, because, I definitely want to try and hold a short because I'm mainly long. But I understand, first of all, based on edit wave theory, that this is likely a correction that we are forming here. And that, we have priority to take out this high. Understanding the option of the diagonal. That could be very, very possible. Then when we consider trading execution, we want to hit a major confluence zone. Confluence is, I don't use moving averages, as you do know. Never use them, don't need them. RSI, MACD, money flow, market cipher, I don't need any of that based on my strategy. Volume profile, I think, is one of the strongest tools that you can use. Fixed volume profile, session volume profile from previous days, range profile, right, which is currently the one that we do have here on the chart. Daily levels, weekly naked pointer controls. By the way, this is a weekly naked pointer control that we do have down here. Just because it's from a large range at 63.5, 63.4. And when we consider a strategy, I think the SFPs or reactions at certain levels are the best in risk management. Or getting a very good solid entry. So in this case on the stream, we talked, if we break this zone, I'm not interested in any short until we get to the daily level, which is in confluence with the golden pocket. I mean, I use volume profile and Fibonacci really, and obviously the daily levels and the pointer controls that we do get from volume profile. But because this was such an attractive confluence area, and the more confluence you have, the better the trade can be. And golden pocket combined with a daily, for me, is, it's a high probability rejection point. Despite if it's a scalp or you end up rolling down a little bit more, but you need to understand we talked about this being a TP1. We could bounce from here right now. We broke the point of control of this mini range of the last 2 days. So this is treated as a scalp. It's a 2-to-1. I know we want to make a 10-to-1 risk reward, but sometimes we don't. We need to be realistic. Is this realistic that it does make a 10-to-1 risk reward? Well, probably not. And when we consider Elliott wave theory, I mean, this has a good chance of being something corrective on the formation, regardless if the correction continues. But you want to have a TP1, right? You enter on the rejection of that daily and the golden pocket. You're defensive with your loss, with your stop loss, basically. Lower risk, take some profit. And, leave a runner, right? Why not? Leave a runner. On to the 250 likes. Let's go. Smash it up, you legends. Over 320 people watching. 250 likes. The math does not Yeah, I can't see the math here with 320 people watching and only 250 likes. What's going on, you lazy buggers? Can we break the high at 67.2 without going down? We absolutely can. We absolutely can. Purely based on this being a three-wave correction. An ABC down can extend to a larger correction based on a WXY, but it could also be the end of a correction. So the fact that can this be the low and take out 67.2? Well, based on this being a three-wave correction, we can. Now, most importantly, does this local move up look impulsive? And yeah, this is something that I don't see very high probability. This is the 5 minute. We were really having a problem before trying to figure out if this could be a motive wave to the upside, but it does not look pretty because there's overlap here. A diagonal does not work. I'm not liking this push to the upside as something motive like 1, 2, 3. We have a problem with this wave 1. There is a big problem with this wave 1. We can't have multiple 1, 2s, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You got beneath this low, so you need to have, if you are looking for a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, you need to have a motive wave from this low to this high, which we really don't have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's overlap right there, so it needs to be a diagonal, and a diagonal does not fit. It's basically, hang on a minute. Wait a minute, because I was checking. Right, it's only on, okay, yeah, on Coinbase. On Coinbase, we did not hit. Oh yeah, it's just not possible anyway. Your wave 5 is longer. The only way we can fit something motive here is. The only way, this is lower time frame as well. Lower time frame can be very noisy. But yeah, the only way that I could potentially form something motive here is as so. The problem is the third wave. The third wave looks very three-wavy. I think, yeah, this does look more like something corrective. This move to the upside. But if I would have to say, if I'm looking for a wave 1 here, this is a wave 2. This is the only way that I could figure this out. But this is on the 3 minute. But the third wave does look very three-wavy. So you got 1, 2, 3. Now you form the fourth wave. You don't overlap with this range, and then you claim the high. Then this could be looking overall like a pretty strong impulsive move to the upside. But with the current information, it's a bit problematic, this motive wave that we got here. Wave 3 looks very 3 wavy. Yeah, not the best looking one. How you could fit this. One, two, three. So you could have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, but that means that you're turning this into an ABC. Correction down, and now you move up. Very, very steep double zigzag, ABC, correction in wave X, and now a very steep. Because this move has extended to the 1.618, you would give it a chance of being an impulse on the formation. So we did hit the 1.618 extension from this move. So if you do consolidate here and take out the highs, then overall this structure would be looking like an impulse on the 15 minute time frame, which could mean that if this does form a flaggy corrective structure, this would be the zone that looks interesting for longs. But you need one more high, then you would give the chance here of an impulse on the formation, but you would have to take the local highs again. Wave 1 is not the best looking one, but I mean, when you go on Elliott wave theory on the 1 minute, 3 minute time frame, it's not perfect. So zooming out, Elliott wave theory becomes nicer on the 15 minute, 1 hour, 15 minute. When you start digging in below 5 minute, there's lots of noise, lots of wicks. So if we, when you zoom out on the 5 minute or even the 15 minute, it would look nicer if this range continues and you take out the high to form a 5 wave move up. Then it would look, on the 15 minute, it does look cleaner. And then if you do correct and overlap on the pullback, forming a bit of a channel, then naturally you do have a good chance of looking for longs to take out the highs, right? This would be the opportunity area. This would probably be coming down to the value area low, right? Yeah, this is what I would be looking for to be confident in a long position. Take out the high again, pull back, look at this structure, and if it does prove itself with overlap that it's likely corrective, then that would be the long in zone at support, which would be the value area low. So if we do take out the highs locally, there is a chance of forming a correction and a chance of this being the low. And it's in our priority to figure out if we are correcting down or if we're going to, roll over very, very fast. If you roll fast, then obviously you're not interested. But if you overlap after taking out the high, then it could be wave 1, could be wave 2, or a wave A, a wave B, wave C. And all of this is a flat. But your priority here would be taking out the local highs, with potentially taking out the highs at 67.2. So what needs to happen here is to take out the high and then correct, right? Channel and figure out if this does look like a corrective structure. You're missing a great game now, Andy. Portugal. Oh yeah, they started at 7, right? Yeah, just about 40 minutes ago. Won't be long, but we'll be checking them out for sure. FOMC, is it that important? Is FOMC that important? Well, we're going to get to the interest rate decision. It's only 18 minutes from now, so let's wait for... Well, we're going to get to the interest... Let's wait for the interest rate decision, guys. What is the score? Portugal have got a massive team. What's the result right now? 1-0 for Portugal against Congo. England, Croatia at 10 o'clock Central European time. The World Cup means nothing to me if Andy is streaming. I think FOMC is already on the price. It could be. It could be. I mean, obviously all of that is speculative. For the moment, happy with the short execution here. Beautiful short execution. There is a bearish case scenario, guys, which is forming a leading contracting diagonal to the downside. So, you know, this is the kind of price action that you think this is likely corrective, this is likely bullish, this is likely going to take out the high, which it is, based on this being a three-wave move down. We can't count a motive wave down here. So naturally, if you have a three-wave down, you know, the priority, the bias is really taking out 67.2 at a near future, right? So, but there is a bearish case, right? It would be, you know, there is the thing is, when you understand that there is a possibility that this could be a finished WXY, which literally, you know, got to the point of control of this mini range on Coinbase at 67.2. It got a beautiful rejection from that mini range point of control right there. And the common targets of a WXY, double zigzag, it's not the best looking one, okay, but it is a valid count. It's not really good looking because inside of your wave W you have an expanding diagonal as wave C, and that's the only way we could figure this out. And then this very, very shallow wave B, but that's okay. But it is possible. The fact that this is already a three-wave move that can be a WXY double zigzag. It's not great based on how W was formed, but it's valid. There's no invalidation, even though how it's formed is rare with an expanding diagonal wave C. You know, when you zoom out and you understand that you are reaching the common fib targets, which is the 1-to-1 to the 1-2-3-6 extension of a three-wave move potential, hitting a local resistance zone at 67.1k, which is point of control of this range on Coinbase, we cannot be blinded on this being only corrective three-wave structure, and that we are going to take out the high, and there's no way I'm going to take a short here if there is confluence. Even though there's confluence, I'm not taking a short. As an experienced elite wave trader as well, I need to come up with the possible bearish option, because, you know, if I'm just blinded that this is three-wave correction and I'm only looking for longs right now, I'm not looking for shorts because this is a three-wave move and that's it. I need to understand, don't be so bullish on one side and understand the bearish case. When I am feeling, oh man, this is correction, biases to the upside, long any pullbacks, it looks good, I need to understand the overall context on the higher time frame saying, hold your horses, you're too bullish here. But the overall context is telling me that there is an option of this being a finished WXY at resistance, hitting the common target 1.236 extension. Don't get so blinded on that this is a three-wave move, and regardless if we go sideways and we take out the high, I mean, that is the local bias based on this local move. But there is a bearish option, which is the diagonal here that could be formed, right? Which is three-wave down, three-wave up, three-wave down. You could form a contracting diagonal here still for the bearish option. And you know, this would take many days to develop, but this would overall be, this would be the scenario that we would be looking for. 1, 2, and then you end up breaking down wave 3, get to sub 59k. So, you know, looking for shorts at resistance here is not a bad idea, because you might think that this is a bull flag, right? Or it's just breaking out, it's looking very bullish. I'm already in long, so you know, I'm more interested in hedging the short, hedging the long, sorry, right? In a short. So yeah, levels of resistance and understanding the bearish case, which would be a contracting diagonal, is there, right? This would be the bearish option, leading contracting diagonal, which would take a few days to develop. Then you get the bounce, and then then you end up moving down in your wave 3 at some point. So yeah, maybe this is the pattern that is forming. I don't know. Maybe this would be the pattern that the Elliott wave count that would be on the formation. If I cannot short at a good level, which I did, right, on stream, daily, good execution, golden pocket from the high to the low, right, that's all good. For me, it's worth, just because I'm heavily long, it's me worth holding this short, being defensive and not taking too much profit, and realize the swing option. Because if I don't get into the short here and we end up moving down, I need to wait to have a confirmed motive wave in a 5-wave structure, impulse, diagonal in this case, of course, right, is the only option. And I need to wait to get into the pullback. I can't short down here as we're rolling down. That's not in my strategy, right? Need to wait for the bounce to speculate on a wave 2. So if I'm not short already from a level of resistance, which if it gets stopped out, it doesn't matter, it's stopped out at break even, I'll have to look for the short later on. After a leading diagonal, it is common to retrace to golden pocket 7-8, so I would expect a relatively steep move up. But this would be my short entry, and this would be a swing down to 59k. Risk reward won't be that massive, but it would be the only option for me to enter a short. So there is a bearish option still. There is a bearish option, considering that the move down locally is a 3-wave move down. We can't count a motive wave here, so it's either sideways WXY or steep double zigzag WXY, or it's the contracting diagonal. Not many options. Not many options here to form. 8 minutes, and we do have volatility kicking in, guys. Will we pump or will we dump? Let me know. I'm going to create another poll. Let's finish this poll. We got the votes on the poll. A little bit more people bullish This was 60-40. Now it's 55-45. Rollover soon is going down. It's almost a 50-50, guys, out of 400 votes. Right. Interest rate and FOMC, guys. What do you think? What do you think? Do we get? What do you think? Do we get? Let's create another poll. Get your votes in, get your votes in. FOMC, interest rate decision, pump or dump. FC Football Club Barça. My long is printing. Yes, it is, my man. Mark Dutch long pumping. Get your votes in. It's going to rocket, says user. LL1. FOMC could create a fake pump. It could also create a fake dump, right? So, very speculative to really kind of predict what's going to happen on a news event, right? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. I mean, interest rates go up. I think we'll get a dump. I think it's going to stay flat though. There is no chop, only pump and dump. We got 6 minutes. We're going to be here just to check. Oh, we're getting a bounce from the point of control. It is bouncing a little bit right now. Getting a little teeny weeny bounce. I'm roommate, yeah. It's bouncing. It's bouncing. It's bouncing. This is why this was a TP1, guys. This is why the point of control on the rejection from the daily was a TP1. It's a scalp, right? You can leave some open, but overall, 2.5 risk to reward. Worth collecting some profits at the point of control, right? So whoever took that short and took the profits, well done. Manage risk on that short. We might be coming up to either back test or take out the high. Or maybe form a lower high here. 5 minutes to interest rate decision and FOMC, guys. Then I'm not going to do Fed press conference. I will try and look at the second part of Portugal Congo. Why not? Much love, much love. Guys, remember that you do have your economic calendar, heat map, all-time high drawdown, many other tools such as CVD and liquidity on the chart here on at mindpillar.com. Take advantage, guys. This is currently for free. Mindpillar.com. You got CVD, liquidity heat map, all-time high drawdown, and many other different tools that you can find here for free. Okay, it's the 5th link down below. Valuable free tools at mindpillar.com just for you. Starting to think you're right about the one, Dutchy, and yeah, we play Congo. 67.5 then drop. So take out the high. There is an option for... There is the option of also forming a 3-wave down. Preferably get more of a correction in this area. Maybe take out the high correction and then move up for the ABC flat. Maybe an ABC flat is an option. Somebody's saying about taking out the highs, right? 67.5 and then dump. Take the highs and dump. That would mean that a flat is an option. A good level is 68k. We got a major gap with a lower high. I'm interested in an SFP from that that pivot. You've got the fair value gap on the 4 hourly, and those lower highs on the 4 hourly is just, it's a classic rejection point. Fair value gap 4 hour 68k. Let's take a look at the fib targets, because it might just be the 1.236 extension, considering the flat. Yeah, there it is. There it is. 68k is attractive on the rejection on that fair value gap, because you do have the 1236, 1382 from the local move down that we got from 67.2k. So it is a flat target area, right? That would be, this is a good level in my opinion for a reaction sniper trade rejection on that 4 hourly fair value gap, lower high wick on that doji candle. I like it. I like it. Es bueno, es bueno. Two minutes. We have interest rate decision and FOMC economic projection. 1 minute countdown. Let's see the votes. What do people think that we get after FOMC projections and interest rate decision? Pump 46%. We got almost 100 votes. We only got 63 votes. We over 300 people watching. What's going on? You lazy buggers, get your votes in. FOMC, pump or dump. 47 pump, 53 dump. It's a 50-50, guys. Come on, get your votes in. Let's see who. Are there more people bearish or bullish? Nobody knows. When it's a 50-50, nobody knows. Let's see what happens. Maybe a double top here could be interesting. You got value area high. You got a bit of high volume. Or maybe a major dump. It's coming in right now. Interest rate decision. It's dumping. Ooh, dumping, guys. Major wick dump. Happy it didn't stop me out. 3.7, so it's at the same. Calendar 3.7 remains the same. $3.7. Nothing has changed with interest rates. It's still high. And we are dumping on the interest rate decision. Happy that I didn't get wicked out from that short. So short is still active from the rejection of the daily level. Absolutely awesome. Short is still active from the rejection of the daily and the golden pocket. Testing currently the value area low, previous day the value area low, getting a reaction from previous day value area low on that dump and the overall low of the range. So we can see that it is getting a little reaction here quick from previous day value area low, also the value area low of this range, getting a little cheeky bounce on the dump of a few $100s. Valid for a TP. it ended up dumping $1,000 from that rejection of the daily and the golden pocket. Awesome trade execution on the stream just a couple of hours ago. Super great. Still have that short open. I am going to leave a significant chunk open because I'm already in a long and I don't want to miss any potential downside for Bitcoin. But very good execution, free trade. So happy to be in long and short right now. Beautiful hedge. So now the price can it can do whatever it wants, and I can watch some football. And we long and we short. What can we do? Now we can do whatever we want, right? Let the long print or the short print. The diagonal is the bearish case option. Okay, diagonal to the downside, as explained, would be the bearish option to form in the coming days. And if that does happen, then we will lean bearish for the coming weeks. For the moment, no diagonal. This is still a 3-wave move. You could extend the correction and take out the highs. Doesn't really matter. Being positioned on both sides of the market, let the bulls or the bears win. Let the bulls or the bears win at this point. Muy bien. Let's go. Guys, thank you so much. Not gonna, we do have economic projection, the press conference in about 25 minutes, but I am going to lock it up. We'll be doing the follow-ups, of course, such as Devils or myself. I'm going to be active tomorrow in the trading community. So if we do have any local opportunities, you know where to find us. It is down below in the description. Join the trading community where we update every single day trading opportunities, analysis, projections. You can find us here. It's the Telegram. You go to the command center. Instructions will be sent for you to join the trading community where we do the updates. I'm just happy in the long and in the short. I'm glad I was worried because I was not in a short. I didn't catch the high at 67.1. I didn't short the next lower high. And now this one on the daily, it's worth a swing attempt based on the leading diagonal potential that could be formed in the next coming days. Definitely worth the possibility, the projection. And that's understanding that this could be a finished WXY on the 1 hour time frame, right? And it's all about understanding, what if this is the high? What if this is the end of the correction and we are heading down in the next coming days, give or take 1 or 2 weeks, to sub 59k? Regardless of this looking corrective, if we hit a major resistance point, we need to attempt a short position naturally, right? We hit a daily, we hit the golden pocket, 3-wave down. It's a resistance, and the bearish option would be a diagonal here on the formation, which would take a few days. Let's see how the price develops in the coming days. Thank you so much for joining today's stream. We'll be back with more tomorrow. Devil streaming tomorrow. I'm doing community. If you want the community, you know where to find us. First link, guys, Telegram, and let's get you in a successful trading community. Thank you so much. Take care. I'll see you in the next one.